Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Triple N Media. I am Dr. Nick. In this presentation, we are going to look at what is an e-bike and everything you need to know before you invest in an e-bike. So let us begin with the main feature presentation. There are a varieties of e-bikes available in the market, and if you just Google it, you'll see all kinds of varieties depending upon what is your purpose. For example, whether you just want to use it as a commuter e-bike, if you are in a city like New York or San Francisco, where getting a vehicle on the road is almost next to impossible. This is something to think about, or whether you're using e-bike for hiking or for carrying passengers or for cruising. If you're in your twilight years and you want to just go on a cruise all across the country using a e-bike, and that may be a good thing to think about. But before we go into all those things, first of all, we need to understand what is an e-bike. E-bike is basically an electronic bike that is driven by a battery. So the battery is the one which makes the bicycle propel, but you can also pedal at the same time, which is a kind of a hybrid. Just like you have gasoline and battery combinations, here we have pedaling and battery power, which will give you extra mileage. The prices of these bicycles range anywhere from $348 all the way up to close to $2,000. So here's a bike which is like $6,499.99. But recently, the bike prices have dropped by almost $600, and I would say wait for a Black Friday where you may get some very, very good deals on electric bikes or e-bikes. Before we go into deciding, which e-bike is suitable for me, how much should I invest in an e-bike? What are all the accessories that I need? So the first important thing you need to understand is the battery. Just like electric vehicles, like car, it has a series of batteries that powers the car. In a bicycle, you have a small miniature version of such a battery pack which powers the bicycle so that the wheels move. And it is based upon 36 volts, 10 amps, 350 to 750 watts lithium battery, similar to the one that you see in electric cars. And this is something that goes on this frame, just like we used to hang water bottles in the past. Here, your battery pack sits in the bicycle at this region. Let's talk about the various battery components. In fact, you can buy an extra battery, and you can assemble the battery yourself by getting electronic bike battery kits from various sources. And here's an example where you can get a 36 volt, 10 amp, 750 watts, 30 amps, 2-year warranty. It's about $229. That's well and good. Now the important question is, how far can this battery take me? How much power do I need, and how much distance is it going to cover? And here's a little complex chart, but you just pay attention to what you're looking here, and that is, look at here. Let's say, it depends upon whether you're using for like economic ride, or whether going on a medium speed or fast speed or aggressive riding. It all depends upon. The faster you go, the more battery power you burn. As a result, you get less mileage. If you're just going for an easy ride in the city or in the park, then you get up to 67 miles on a battery which is 13 amp hours, 51.8 volts, 673 watts. In the previous slide, we saw the advertising was for 36 volts, 10 amp hours, 750 watts motor. So you have to know what is the type of battery you need, and this is going to tell you what type of battery you want to look for. If you want to get like an average of 60 miles, then you want to look at the battery that is like 15 to 20 amp hours and 700 watts 51.8 volts, so that you have enough power to last for a couple of days if you're just riding this e-bike within your town, or if you're in a major city like New York or Los Angeles, or if you're in a college town and you just like to have like economic lifestyle, because it makes it easier to navigate around the college campuses using an e-bike versus driving a car. These are the things that we need to keep in mind. Of course, the more power that is in your battery, much longer is the distance that is covered by that battery. Plus, you can also pedal, which gives you a hybrid version, which is shown in this slide. As you can see, it also depends upon the weight of the person. If you are a 130-pound rider compared to a 230-pound rider, the more weight that is put on the bicycle, the less mileage we get. And as a result, if it's, let's say, 180 average weight, which is even less than average, I would say, so you can get up to, on a flat pavement, just pedaling with just using pure battery, you get 20 miles. And if you pedal, you get 35 miles. That's 15 miles. That's almost 60% more in terms of mileage. So here's an interesting thing. If it's a flat surface, you can just pedal. So you get your exercise, and also you cover the distance. And if it's like a high mountain or uphill, then you let the battery do the work. And if it's going downhill, you can literally, not using the battery at all, because so there are different combinations that can get you extra mileage. It's similar to a hybrid car, where your combination of gasoline and electric can give you much better mileage than gasoline alone. What is the reason you want to get this bike? I think you have to define certain parameters. One is, what do you want to use this bike for? Are you in your retirement year, so you want to go on a cross-country ride using your e-bike? That's a good option. But also you have to remember that just like motorcycle and scooter, when you are driving a bicycle on the street, you have to be concerned about the weather conditions. If it's raining, if it's windy, or if it's cloudy, there are certain things that you have to keep in mind. And just like any other two-wheel vehicle, you're expected to wear helmets. And if you're in a college town, you're young professors, and you just want to get around easily in the campuses from building to building, this is a great option to consider, because in that way you don't have to walk like 4 or 6 blocks. You can just take your bike, ride, and make sure you have a place where you can lock your bikes so that you don't lose an expensive investment. Or if you're a young couple, you just want to go for a ride in the neighborhood, this is a good option to consider, because here you can use a battery and pedaling, a combination, so that you can just relax and enjoy and cover quite a distance compared to just bicycling with the pedals. Or if you're in a college town on a budget, and you can go on a date using e-bike, meet your friend on the corner, show off your bikes, go for a dinner, and get home. This is a great option for especially college students who don't have a car or have to depend on someone else to go to the grocery store or go to a local place, game. Then this is a good option to use it. Besides, if you're in a small town where the traffic is so congested, you get a first preference to get to your place compared to even a car, which may be in a parking lot trying to move like 5 blocks. So these are some of the things that we have to look at. So the most important thing you need to consider is when you're thinking about getting an e-bike, planning. Planning is very important. If you're working with your partner, discuss with your partner and plan. what is the purpose of this endeavor? Because this is not just a simple endeavor. It costs money, and it has to be maintained. There is some safety issues, just like with any other two-wheel vehicles. You have to decide where you're going to use it, when you're going to use it, how long you're going to use it, and what is your purpose. The next thing is, how much power does your battery need to have? And I've already given you a chart which explains how much power is needed to cover certain distance. And finally, the pocketbook. The pocketbook decides which band you're going to get. So ladies and gentlemen, now you know a whole lot about e-bikes, and decide which e-bike to get, what is your budget, how much power you need, and what is your purpose. I hope this has been educational to you, and please do subscribe to our YouTube channel. We have more than 2,000 videos accenting our experience here in the United States, and I will see you in the next presentation.